What up, everybody? Y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Saul G, aka the Kung Fu Hebrew, at it again. Yeah, man. I decided I needed to just do a quick little live for you, real quick, because as this channel grows, as the audience continues to grow, I think it's time to be extremely, clear about what it is that I guess I do over here, how I believe in things like that. So this is basically the point of tonight's show. I'm gonna, I used to be a teacher, so I'm gonna give you a little quiz tonight. Shout out to everybody checking in, man. Like I said, man, you go ahead and throw one up in the chat. Make sure I'm coming through loud and clear. Ain't gonna be on camera tonight, because like I said, it's gonna be a quick little, I don't know, man, 10, 15 minute lesson tonight. But basically, it's just to get an idea about where the audience is and their knowledge and understanding and things like that. And then I also need to find out, because at the end of the day, we're all indoctrinated in something. I don't care what it is, whether it's spiritually, politically, socially. Everybody has a certain level of indoctrination. So what I'm going to attempt to do tonight is I need to see and check. Like you say, this is what we used to do in school. It's called check for understanding. So what I'm about to do real quick is I'm going to do a check for understanding. So let me do this real quick, and we just going to have a real little quick pop quiz, man. Nice little trivia night, man. This is a laid back night tonight, so nothing to really concern yourself with. I would say answer truthfully, right? Because if you're not answering truthfully, it's going to be a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and get the trivia started, and let's go ahead and get it. All right. So, right. So, man, here we go. Here we go, man. It is trivia night here at 40 Days and 40 Nights with the Kung Fu Hebrew. Basic questions, I believe. I believe you should get 100%, but we'll figure that out in a second. But let me just go ahead and be a good game show host, right? So I just want to welcome everybody to trivia night. Let me go ahead and turn that music down a little bit. All right. We'll just keep it down so we can just have some kind of, a little lower than that. There we go. Yeah, that's a good sound right there. All right, so here we go. So hopefully you can see everything. Hold on, let me come back real quick. Let me reshare, because I don't want to go through this whole thing and then it mess up. So let me stop sharing my screen, and then let me go back to present, and let me share my screen again. And hold on, put this back up again. Put that back up again. Now I want to share my screen. Here we go. All right, so here we go. All right, so once again, like I said, welcome to Trivia Night here, 40 Days, 40 Nights. Got a little trivia for you, just because, we need to kind of make sure we at the same page of some things, because I don't believe or do things like probably nobody else on YouTube. So, or probably in, wherever that you do things. So I'm just going to kind of go through this real quick. So let's just see if we can get this done. All right, so the game rules, man. The game will consist of 3 rounds of questions. Each is going to have a different theme. All right, there won't be players or teams. All right, it'll just be you by yourself. Hopefully, you don't have to use your phone to get these answers. But each correct answer earns 1 point. All right, after each round, players, like I said, ain't no teams, because you're doing this by yourself, will exchange their answers and tally up the scores. It says players should refrain from using external sources like the phone, the internet, to find the answers during the game. I will say, especially for the, as I call it, the pre-test, right? If you need to use your phone, or if you don't get 5 for 5, that is problematic. But it's all good, Like, if you open and willing to learn, we can continue to move on. But let's get to it. All right, are you ready? Here we go. The pre-test, right? And I said this is a preschool level test. Question number 1. What ethnicity was King James IV of Scotland, who approved a new translation of the Bible in 1604? Your choices are Hawaiian, Chinese, European, or Black. I'm going to say the question one more time and go through the answers one more time, then I'm going to move on. What ethnicity was King James IV of Scotland, who approved a new translation of the Bible in 1604? All right, so you should have your answer ready, and let's see what the right answer is. You should have said European. There's a picture of King James IV. And pretty much any random Google search you can go to, I believe they're called royalbrits.com, and they'll take you for about 25 generations. If you put any other thing besides European, yeah, we starting off on a bad foot, but let's keep going. Question number 2. The first king of Israel was King Tut, Saul, Josiah, or David. I'll say it again, and none of these are going to be trick questions, right? These are just things that I have heard in my walk, things that I have heard on YouTube, things that I have heard on the street, things that I have seen argued on social media. So you might think, oh my God, these questions are stupid. That's what I thought, but I got to know who I'm talking to. So the first king of Israel was King Tut, Saul, Josiah, or David. And when you get the answer, you can go ahead and throw it in the chat. Make sure we're on the same page. And the answer is Saul. Okay, it was Saul. So if you didn't know Saul, then once again, we need to start getting some. We need to just be educated on these things. All right, here we go. Question number 3. The snake in the Garden of Eden was a snake, Jesus, Esau, or Cain. Say it one more time. The snake in the Garden of Eden was a snake, Jesus, Esau, or Cain. I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to put your answer in the chat. Hopefully nobody put nothing crazy. And the answer is a snake. Okay. And I know y'all like Jesus. Yeah. Google Jesus is the snake in the Garden of Eden, and you'll find plenty of people who believe that. So don't think that's crazy. All right, here we go. Question number 4. Which picture shows the 16th president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? I'll ask it again. Which picture shows the 16th president of the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln? Is it number 1, 2, 3, or 4? The answer is obviously number 2. If you didn't put number 2, we are struggling already. Okay. And the last question of the pretest, like I said, you should be shooting 100%. Let's keep going. Which picture shows the country of Israel? Is it number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? I'm going to ask it one more time. Which picture shows the country of Israel? Number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? I know some people are sitting here thinking like I'm crazy. No. The only reason why this is being asked is because I have heard all 4 of these is actually Israel. And the answer is number 1. All right. Congratulations. So, congrats. You should be 5 for 5. Okay. If you're not 5 for 5, congrats. You are in a cult. All right. Because the only reason why you would fail something like that, and failing would mean you had to miss 2. And especially, I'm gonna be honest, if you miss any with pictures, you're in a cult. So yeah, I'm not gonna even go around that. But let's get to the actual quiz now. So now that we did a little pre-test, we should all be on the same page. We should be good. So let's go through this little quiz real quick. Round 1, basic doctrine. Basic. Here we go. Who is the Most High God? Man, Jesus Christ, Yahweh, or Yahweh, or the Trinity? I'll ask it again. Who is the Most High God? Man, Jesus Christ, Yahweh, or the Trinity? I'll give you 5 seconds to put the answer in the chat. Let's keep going. The answer is Yahweh. Once again, this is basic doctrine. Question number 2. Who do most Europeans descend from? Esau, Cain, Japhet, or the devil? Question number 2. Who do most Europeans descend from? And we're speaking biblically, of course, right? So what does the Bible say? Okay, not what any person, man, camp, church, organization says. What does the Bible say? All right, Esau, Cain, Japhet, or the devil? All right, the answer is Japhet. And you can go to the Table of Nations in Genesis 10 when it refers to the Gentiles. Okay, let's keep going. Question number 3. The best descriptions of a modern 12-tribe chart is: it is a spiritual designation, a genealogical designation, it is inaccurate and ridiculous, or Black Hispanics and Native Americans. Question number 3. The best description of a modern 12 tribes chart is a spiritual designation, a genealogical designation, inaccurate and ridiculous, or Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And the answer is inaccurate and ridiculous. All right. Number 1, because the 10 tribes that were taken in the first captivity were lost forever, and nobody has an idea of where those people come from. Number 2, conflicting time periods. Some people like to say they're Issachar, for example, are Mexicans, and they go back to the Aztecs. Well, if you look at the time the Aztec Empire was flourishing, it would have been flourishing at the same time all the tribes were still in Israel. And lastly, nobody knows. We can assume, we can make assumptions, we can claim it, but there is no way at this moment, unless somebody got a time machine, to verify any of it. All right. Number 4. I'm sorry. Round 2. This is basic knowledge. Let's go. All Hebrews descend from the line of who? Abraham, Ham, Japhet, or Shem? Question number 4. All Hebrews descend from the line of Shem, Japhet, Ham, or Abraham. All right. And the answer is Shem. All right. That's found in Genesis 10, 21 through 24. And that comes through Arphaxad. And then it comes later on through Eber. All right. So all Hebrews are Shemitic. Okay. Question number 5. Sin is defined by the New Testament, the book of Romans, Paul, or the law. Once again, sin is defined by the New Testament, the book of Romans, Paul, or the law. And the answer is the law. If you go back through the law or parts of the Torah in Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, that is going to get you the most accurate definitions of the law and transgressions of the law. Otherwise, defining sin becomes very subjective, and sin shouldn't change from person to person. It should be universal, and it shouldn't matter what country you are in. All right, let's go. Question number 6. Which food is not against the Levitical diet? Which food is not against the Levitical diet? Number 1 is a bacon cheeseburger. Number 2 is salmon. Number 3 is catfish. Number 4 is shrimp Alfredo. Question number 6. Which food is not against the Levitical diet? Bacon cheeseburger, salmon, catfish, or shrimp Alfredo? I'll give you a second. And the answer is salmon. All right. The first one was out because it's no pork. Catfish is out because it doesn't have scales. Shrimp is out because it doesn't have fins or scales. All right, here we go. Round 3, the red letter doctrine. Here we go. In regards to Yeshua, who should we believe as a primary? Paul, the apostles, a living Yeshua directly quoted, or the disciples? In regards to Yeshua, who should we believe as a primary? Paul, the apostles, a living Yeshua directly quoted, or the disciples? Give you a second to think about it. Shouldn't be that hard. The answer is a living Yeshua directly quoted, hence the term red letter and hence the term living. Okay? Red letter only, quoted in the Gospels before resurrection and ascension. That is it. Okay? Because after resurrection or ascension, you have to basically go on the word of man at that point. And if you want to believe in man, that is cool. I don't believe it's the wisest way to go. Even though, like I said, what's even being quoted in the red letters, it's kind of difficult at times to verify whether or not that's what was being said. But, these are accounts, right? So it's not like they had a tape recorder, so we make sure that they're accurate. But let's keep going. Round 8. Who is Satan? Your choices are Esau, yourself, the serpent, or the white man. Question number 8. Who is Satan? Esau, yourself, the serpent, or the white man? Give you a couple of seconds to answer the question. The answer is yourself. Okay? Based on what that word means in Hebrew, it means adversary. So if you think about it in your day-to-day life, you should be your biggest adversary and your biggest either hindrance or, whatever makes you a successful person or whatever the case may be. You are the biggest factor / blocker of that, right? Satan is not a fallen angel. He doesn't control demons, and it's not the serpent from the garden. All right. So once again, if you ask somebody who is Satan, you are your biggest adversary, right? That's taking accountability. Question number 9. Is polygamy a sin? Yes, because it is illegal. Yes, if you are a deacon. Yes, if you are a bishop, or no. Question number 9. Is polygamy a sin? Yes, because it is illegal. Yes, if you are a deacon. Yes, if you are a bishop, or no. And the answer is no. It is not mandatory. It is not encouraged. It is also not recommended, but it is also not a sin. Okay? And the reason why it is not a sin, unless, once again, if you want to go with the letters that Paul wrote, the epistles, where he says that a bishop or a deacon will be the husband to one wife, then yeah, people who use those terms and they have multiple wives, they need to explain that. But here, it's not a sin. All right. And last, question number 10. Which book of the Bible best explains how we should live? We have Revelations, we have Romans, we have Ecclesiastes, or we have Titus. All right. Which book of the Bible best explains how we should live? Revelations, Romans, Ecclesiastes, or Titus? And the answer is that should be Ecclesiastes. Clearly, I didn't put the I didn't put the answers in right there, but it's all good. So let me go back to my screen here. All right, so you should be adding up your points. See how many points you got. Hopefully, you should have gotten, I would say, hopefully, 10 out of 10. Now, the other part, you'll learn more later. But if you missed the first 5, we got work to do, and you got to be open to learn. But if you really was ready to debate about the first 5 questions, I think it's your best bet to go ahead and unsubscribe immediately, because boy, that is terrible. Okay, especially the Abraham Lincoln thing, which people teach, especially King James being black, which a lot of people teach. He's not. Y'all need to stop that. That's why I said this is ridiculous. I don't even know how to explain this, but I'm just gonna go over some things real quick, and then I'm gonna shut it down, man. It's gonna be real quick tonight, so let's go. What is a red letter Hebrew, man? Real quick. About us, we deal with science and nature, meaning that to advance, right? We can't take these backwards, ancient, archaic stances that we don't want to deal with science. We don't want to deal with DNA, because if we, like, you know what I mean? Because it's like some of y'all are watching this show on an iPhone, right? I'm doing this show using technology. So if you don't want to deal with science, then you don't want to deal with technology either, because that's what most technology is. It's science, right? I can't explain to you how I can broadcast this show around the world with a computer and a hotspot or whatever the case may be. That is science. Science and technology does that, right? We deal with nature, meaning it's pretty simple, right? We deal with nature over here. It's not something crazy. Don't mean we worship the sun. It just means that it is very simple to look out in nature and be able to see basic things, right? So if it doesn't really occur in nature, then it should just basically verify what the Bible says already, okay? We deal with the Apocrypha for edification purposes only, right? Meaning we might talk one day from the book of Enoch, right? We might talk one day from the book of Jubilees, right? However, like I was listening to there's a book called the something about Adam and Eve, right? And it talks about what happened to Adam and Eve after they left the garden, right? Now, I would have a very brief conversation and entertain some things that were in that book, but as far as the validity of it, when it was written, it was obviously written, post it had to be written because it talked about Jesus Christ, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way a book that was supposed to be written about what happened to Adam and Eve at the garden was written post Jesus Christ, because it missed them. So yeah, some of these books are get kind of shaky, but sometimes they got decent information. But once again, it should never be used for doctrine. All right. We deal with history, dates, and facts. Okay. You should never be afraid of history, dates, or facts. They should just be confirming what you already believe anyway. We use scholarly articles and sources, not no random person on YouTube or wherever that black Abraham Lincoln photo started. We don't do that over here. We're not going to do this nonsensical scholarship over here. It is annoying, and it has to stop. All right. We don't man worship right over here, because we are all flawed. Meaning, I mean, I'm human like everybody else. I'm not gonna ever call myself like some people do. I'm a prophet that has been reincarnated. That I am God sent from heaven. I spoke to God. We not doing that over here. All right. So if you want to man worship, you can go over there and basically believe everything, because everything over here, I'm gonna give you sources. I'm gonna explain why I think this is the way things are. I'm not gonna. I'll get to that in a second, right? We don't have a doctrine of hate against anyone. Period. Point blank. Bottom line. But we do respond when challenged, right? But we respond like a scholar. We don't respond with this hood rat. People fighting in the streets. We don't do that. If they want to challenge us on something, right, then we do it in a scholarly manner, and we just shut them down with the information and the resources, right? You don't have to like I said, you got to decide to separate yourself. If you want to be in that street stuff, then you need to keep that over there somewhere, but we're not doing that over here. All right. Next, we are learning together, and we don't speak in absolutes. And the reason why we don't speak in absolutes is as technology improves, as information is going to change over time, you have to be able to understand that, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to update some things, because that's what happened. We get new information. What happens if they go and they find a new graveyard in Israel or in Egypt somewhere, and they dig up and they looking at the bones, and we thought one way and now we gotta adjust. You gotta be willing to adjust when it's proven. You understand what I'm saying? But it's got to be credible. We just ain't gonna change just because somebody say they found something. All right. And the other thing, like I should have put on there too, is you need to make sure, right, that you are checking and verifying. That's why if you've seen any of my other lessons, I say go research on your own, because that's the other thing, right? When we start growing, you should be bringing information as well. What did you find? What is your source for that? So then that way we can look at it, and then it'll only make the information stronger. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, like if you're expecting me to find everything, whew, that's tough. But when you got more eyes and you got more people that are interested in doing things, it makes it a lot easier. All right, next, we don't make up doctrine to fit any agenda. What I mean by that is over here, women, let me make this very clear. Women, all right, women, you can I mean, I'm not creating no organization or anything like that, but women are perfectly fine over here. I don't teach none of that stuff about y'all not being able to teach head covered. I don't do any of that. All right. So if you do that, that's fine, right? But once again, you are allowed to speak. You are allowed to bring up your opinion. You know, when I start going live and I start doing things like this in the future, right? It won't be an issue for you to come up, ask questions, or if you feel like you have something to add to the conversation, that is welcome over here. Some places won't let you do that. All right. Also, when I say an agenda, the agenda sometimes is they'll go into the book, they'll pervert the words to make it fit. No. It can't be literal, allegorical here just because it wants to fit. No, we're going to use the main thing that I want y'all to understand is over here. I am going to use logic and reason, because even when I call it like the red letter Hebrews, red letter gang, you know, what was my other one I had was the what was it? I had a little video for that one, I think. Where is that one at? The yeah, here it is, little karate Yeah, I wasn't trying to play that twice, my bad. But I had it on repeat. But yeah, so because I know there's a forum called, I believe, Karaite Judaism, and they basically only deal with the Old Testament, or they only deal with the Tanakh. But at the end of the day, you got to make your own decision. That's what we're going to do it over here. The reason why I like to deal with the red letters, not what people said, but what he was believed to have said, is because if the going Christian consensus is the entire Old Testament was created, not created, apologies. The entire Old Testament is basically prophesying or leading up to Jesus Christ, right? Then why would I want to listen to anybody else in the New Testament outside of Jesus Christ? Because you're telling me it's a good 4,000 years worth of history. This man comes, he dies, and then 5 to 10 years, whatever the story tells you later, some new guy comes and basically starts to put all these different things together. All right. So that is basically what I am going to be doing over here. So once again, if you rock with me, you rock with me. If you don't, I understand. It's no hard feelings. But you know, you're always welcome to come back, but you got to get rid of some of that nonsense that y'all have been learning from some of these other Black Hebrew Israelites, or in your church, or in your wherever you're coming from, right? You got to get rid of that nonsense before you come over here, right? Because I'm not gonna have no moderators for right now. You understand? If it get ridiculous, yeah, I mean, I go through and block people, but for right now, I'm not gonna have no moderators. Y'all are free to speak your mind. I don't delete any comments. I don't delete anybody in the chat. I don't block anybody. But you know, I'm just gonna say, keep it respectful. You understand what I'm saying? And we'll go from there. And I'm gonna play my boy Jabari because this is what it's all about at the end of the day. And then I'm gonna shut it down.
Regardless of what we talk about here, if your tradition is not making you a better person, if your tradition is not assisting you with developing better character, if your tradition is not helping you understand how you should interact with your brothers, then you should find a new tradition.
And that's it. So shalom, everybody. Shalom, 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 man. Like I said, I got a good lesson coming this week because, like I said, now that I done built the foundation and everything, I'm gonna do my first lesson. So I'm gonna be talking about the women, right? I'm gonna pick 5 women out the Bible. I kind of want to do it like the love languages, but we're gonna talk about biblical women, right? Which one you feel you could closely identify with, and I'm just gonna break some other things about. But it's basically called the 5 prototypes of biblical women. Which one are you? And also for the fellas, which one do you attract? Okay, because sometimes, out here in these relationships and things like that, it gets difficult. But I think it's because we're either attracting that wrong woman. And next week, I'm going to talk about the fellas. And then ladies, you'll see which biblical man you're attracting, right? And that could probably be maybe an issue why you're not having the success that you want. So, like I said, man, shalom to everybody. And like I said, you can go back, take the quiz. Hopefully, like I said, first one, 5 out of 5. That's what I'm shooting for. The next one, let's go 7 out of 8 out of 10. We can rock, man. We can rock. All right. So, man, y'all be blessed out there. I believe I'm either going to do that show Monday. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe. Make sure your notification bells are checked. Make sure you're sharing this, man. I'm trying to get the 200 subscribers by the end of the month. Yeah, man. So I think I need another 20 to go. So if you're watching me over there in YouTube or in Facebook or wherever you're watching me, man, I need 20 more subscribers, man. 20 more. Give me the 200, and then I had the #1 channel with the Libre TV name, and then then people can just type Libre TV in, and it'll come up to me first, man. So I appreciate all the love and support. I appreciate y'all for that last video I made. I think it has like over 1,300 views, man. The one about the scholars hiding the evidence, man. So once again, appreciate the support. And even if you ain't gonna rock with me, if you can be respectful and you just want to come over here for the information, I don't have no problem with that. But like I said, until next time, man, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe out there. The new year is coming. All right. So you got to try to figure out, look back on this year. Well, I ain't going to do my New Year stuff yet, but I'm coming with it, man. But, hey, we getting close to a new year, man. So we got to make sure 2024 is better than what 2023 is. But like I said, I'm out.